Hi, boys and girls, it's Mrs. Uvik. This is measurement part 2. We're going to work on measuring some of the things I have over here. All right, first thing I want to talk about is the ruler. The ruler has inches on it, so you'll see that it's marked in inches. From here all the way to that long line is 1 inch. 2 inches, 3, 4, 5, 6, and our ruler goes all the way to 12 inches. This 12-inch ruler is 1 foot. Do you think this would be more like the king's foot or the apprentice's foot? I'm going to guess it's the king's foot. You might want to take this ruler or your ruler or the one that you can print off from the website and you can measure your own foot. I happen to know that my foot is about 8.5 inches long. Okay, measure yours, see where yours is there. Do you believe that your foot is 1 foot, 12 inches, or smaller? All right, so let's measure some things. Let's start with my mouse here. That's my mouse I use for my computer. I'm going to line that up. I'm going to line that right up with the end of the mark on the ruler, right there. I'm going to see how long that goes. That looks like it goes right down to there. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. All right, that mouse is 4 inches. Now, I could also measure another dimension. I could measure the width of the mouse. This time, we're starting here and we're right about at 2. So we would say that mouse is 2 inches wide by 4 inches long. All right, let's measure something else. Move that. Let's measure our eraser. This is my whiteboard eraser. I'm going to measure it. I'm going to measure the length of it. You'll see there we go. When I measure that and I line that just about up, that Expo eraser is 5 inches long. You'll see it comes all the way down to the 5 here. Now I could also measure the width of that. I could take a look at it from this side to here, and I'll see that's about 2 inches. I could also measure one more thing. That has 3 dimensions, so we can measure all 3. And if we look, that looks like that's a tough angle to see, but that's about 1 inch. So this, the dimensions or the measurements of this are 5 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch. You'll see me using these little quotation marks. That is an abbreviation or a symbol for inches. All right, so now we've measured things. Let's measure something else. Let's try Mrs. Uvik. Let's measure Mrs. Flat Mrs. Uvik from her head to her toes. All right, we'll line her up there. Flat Mrs. Uvik looks like she's about 5 inches. And that's pretty amazing because real Mrs. Uvik is about 5 feet and a couple inches in real life. But flat Mrs. Uvik is right about 5 inches long. Now you might ask, what happens if we measure something and it doesn't line up with an inch? Let's look at my blue marker here. Starting, this time I'm right there. I'm right in the middle between 5 and 6. I'm right in the middle. Well, what is in the middle? Half. We're going to talk about fractions more in the next couple of weeks. But that is 5.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full inches. And then we have half of this inch. We're not all the way. We don't take a whole inch. We just take a half. 5.5 inches. Okay. If we wanted to measure flat Mrs. Uvic's head, we could put her here. Let's put her right about there. Slide there. Flat Mrs. Uvic's head looks like it's about 1.5 inches. All right, when you lay her there, we start right there. We're almost to the half there for flat Mrs. Uvic. All right, time for a challenge. What if I want to measure this marker, or sorry, this mouse, and I set it right here? I use my ruler like that. I'm starting here on 2, and I'm measuring to 6. True or false? This is now 6 inches. I want you to think about that for a second. Is this mouse now 6 inches long? The scale or the ruler says 6. You can stop the video here if you want to think about that. But I'm going to give you the answer. It's not 6 inches. We didn't start measuring at the end. We started at 2. So we have to count how many inches are between 2 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4 inches. It's still 4 inches. I'm starting at 2 though, so I have to count that difference between those. I could check that by going back and lining it up with the very beginning, the 0. In fact, this is really the 0 on a ruler. 0, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. And it's still 4 inches no matter where I start. If I start on 3, it's going to show me 7. And I have to talk about this, the difference between those two measurements. Okay? I hope that measurement helps review what we've done in class. I hope you enjoyed the King's Foot. Take your ruler. If you don't have one, there's one you can print, or there's one in the packet you can cut out. And go measure some stuff. Go see how big is your foot. We will measure on Wednesday during our Google Meet. See you later. Have fun. Stay safe. It's the third time I've done it.
Wow.
Because the first time it didn't record it. The second time Dad scraped paint and my headphones shut off halfway in between. So this better record. Because I'm so tired of doing that. Because now I got to put it together. Oh, and I'm still recording all this.